with the Fight Talk YouTube channel. It's been a while for me. I had to take some time to obviously recover from UFC 306 because of everything that happened. Greatest combat sports event in history is what they were saying, and I thought there were some great fights, but obviously the co-main and main just kind of sucked the air out of everybody, I thought, and we no longer have Sugar Sean as the bantamweight champ, so that made me think of this YouTube video, which is going to be the Nightmare champion in each division. And I mean, obviously you can see why I'm doing this video is because the UFC is going downhill with the champions that we have been getting recently. Obviously a lot of wrestlers that are going to take down your favorite fighter, and they don't go for submissions either, most of them, except for DDP. That's why you got to respect the man. But Merab and Bilal taking people down and just kind of laying on them. So yeah, inspired me to make this YouTube video. The worst champion, the Nightmare champion in each UFC division. So we're going to be starting with the flyweight division, obviously, and that's going to be Amir Albazi. This guy is pretty similar to a lot of the champions you've seen recently. 17-1, so a great record, but they just cut a guy in this division similar to him, and obviously we got him versus Moreno coming up here November 2nd, so that'll be a great test for Albazi, and I'm hoping Moreno pulls that dub off because he was a great champion, and yeah, that'll be a great fight. But really, I mean, there's a lot of guys in this division that you could probably put in this category of just a boring champion who wouldn't do much, but again, it's flyweight and not a lot of people are going to care in the first place, so this one's really not a big deal to me. So we'll move on to the bantamweight division, and I have Umar Nurmagomedov. I know what you're thinking, or Rob maybe. You're thinking, why is he not here? I think Merab, he's got some sort of skill on the mic, and he's going to at least fight a lot. But with Umar, this guy barely even knows how to speak English, and he's here because of his cousin Khabib, and he's just got gifted a lot of fights. I think it'd be really bad if Umar Nurmagomedov was the champ. And yeah, I mean, he's gonna keep smoking guys. I think he will become the champion. So I mean, just prepare for that. But yeah, Umar Nurmagomedov, can't be having him as a champ. Merab's already bad enough, and hopefully Sugar Sean can make that return. We did not do a recap video on UFC 306 just because of, I don't know, I think we were kind of both busy, but if you guys want us to talk about the aftermath of those fights, we would be glad to do that for you. But obviously AO got that prediction right, I got it wrong, and pretty disappointed that I got it wrong as well, because I mean, that was almost the nail in the coffin for me. I almost quit watching the sport after Sugar Sean lost that, just because of how the way this has been going. So I hope towards the end of this year we can get some, good solid fights between some strikers, or at least if you're a wrestler, at least go for a finish. That'd be pretty cool. So we'll go into the featherweight division. Movsar Evloev. Obviously, this guy was supposed to fight Sterling here in a couple of weeks, but Sterling had to pull out. So I'm interested to kind of see who's going to step in. They were saying maybe Diego Lopez, but obviously that's not going to happen. If you're Lopez, I mean, you're not doing that again. So yeah, I mean, this guy, again, no losses, and man, he's got 3 wins by knockout and 4 by sub. So decision machine. I mean, that's going to be a pretty, you're going to see that a lot, and all these guys are just decision machines. We can't be having that in the UFC, or else you're going to lose a lot of fans. By the way, check out our Twitter. We after that 306, we dropped a lot of nukes, a lot of just rage tweets, and I thought those were pretty funny. But obviously, I mean, we're still here talking about this, so they got to be doing something right. But I just think they've been really struggling lately, and even thinking about some of these champions is like, man, this could be really bad. So we'll go into lightweight. Lightweight really didn't have a lot of guys that I'm like, I can't be having this guy as the champ. But Gamrot was really the only one that came to mind, and he just lost to Hooker. in a very close fight. If you remember that, UFC 305. But this is really the only guy who's going to spam takedowns and crotch sniff for 25 rounds. There's really nobody else in the division that is going to do that. So I think this is probably the best division in the UFC, maybe second best. You can argue either way, but Gamrot, this guy, just look at this guy. We can't be having that as a champ. Welterweight. I guess we got to do guys who aren't the champions. So, Bilal, we're probably living in that nightmare right now. But at least Bilal's gonna fight. He said he wants to fight. This guy, Leon Edwards. This guy didn't fight anybody. Like, I don't even know. What do you have? 2 title defenses, and they were in like a span of a year. So it was cool when this guy fought, but not really. This guy's also a decision machine. I think, man, it was getting bad there for a little bit. Colby Covington throws shots at your dad, and you just stare at him for 5 rounds. That's kind of where I lost respect for Leon Edwards. Obviously, the head kick was awesome, but man, this guy was a pretty bad champion, and if he were to regain it'd be a struggle. But there's guys coming up that I love to see become the champ, like JDM, Shavkat, even though he fights once a year. At least he goes for the finish. If you don't go for a finish, honestly, Dana, just kick him out at this point. Just get him out. But Leon Edwards, can't be having him. Middleweight. This was also kind of a struggle for me. I was going to skip this one, honestly, but I had Imavov. Really just for the same reason. He doesn't get a lot of finishes. He gets a lot more than the guys I mentioned previously, and I'm excited for that fight against Brendan Allen, September 28th, this weekend. But I think Allen could also be a nightmare champ, but really there's no one else in the division. The title picture right now is perfect, so that's really it for that. Light heavyweight, no surprise here. Magomed Ankalaev. This guy, he gets finishes, which you got to respect, but the problem is this guy has no skill on the mic either. That's really just the common theme for all the guys that I've mentioned. You don't get finishes or you have no skill on the mic. So this guy's just gonna stare at you basically, but it's not like an Alex Pereira stare. It's like he just looks like an idiot. Just look at him. So we can't be having that as a light heavyweight champ, but I do think he deserves a title shot. I know. Khalil Rountree, that's kind of a Mickey Mouse title shot. I think Ankalaev probably should have deserved that one, but it is what it is. I'm fine with it, and I'm hoping Rakic just beats him so we don't have to talk about this guy anymore. And then heavyweight, I had Jailton Almeida. If you watch this guy, he is a spammer of the takedowns because no one else in this heavyweight division is gonna wrestle. So this guy has figured out that if I wrestle, I can beat guys that are better than me. And if he were to become the champ, I'm not sure he speaks English either, so that'd be rough. But, man, those are all my nightmare champs. Kind of a shorter video for you today. I just wanted to get something out there for you guys because I've been inactive these last couple weeks with different stuff going on in my life. And, the way the UFC has gone, it's hard to talk about content when there really is nothing to talk about, when there's some bummy champs. It's really hard to talk about the sport, and I think it's headed in the wrong direction currently. And I was pretty close to just being a casual fan after 306 because just the way stuff has been going is really frustrating as a fan. And there's a lot of things I want to say on here, but I probably shouldn't. If I was in Dana's shoes, man, if you're not going for finishes, just get them out. This is an entertainment business at the end of the day. I had guys in my room watching the Sphere card that have never watched the UFC before, and look at that impression that they got put on. The Sphere was awesome. Don't get me wrong, but man, the way that main event went, even the co-main was horrible too. It's rough because I just don't see how you sell some of these pay-per-views. How do you sell Merab versus Umar? to a non-casual fan or to a casual fan. You don't. So I think the Jones card will do great. I think the Ilya Max card will do awesome. I even think the Alex Pereira Khalil Roundtree, when we look back at that, that'll be one of the best fights striking wise we've seen. I do think Alex Pereira knocks him out, by the way. I'll say that here. I think he knocks him out first or second round. But there is some great cards coming up, but UFC 310 looks shaky. Early 2025, they're saying for Conor McGregor. I don't know if I believe that. I think he's going to either box or just be done. So the sport's cooked, I'm not going to lie. I mean, O'Malley looks like he's got a surgery or something in October, so he's not going to be back for another year or so. And, man, we need some stars in the sport, and these stars are not the ones I mentioned in this video. So that's really going to do it for me. So I appreciate you coming on here and watching, and different kind of style of video today. I hope you enjoyed. I mean, it's kind of more laid back than normal. I wasn't really ranting or raging at anything. I'm just a little bit disappointed in the sport at the moment, and we'll get back to you with the pods with me and Austin coming up here soon. We're kind of busy right now, both of us, but I think most of our stuff that we're currently in is kind of ending at the moment. So I think we will be back, and we'll be back for those big cards as well. I'm excited to talk about those with Austin and share that with you guys. So we will catch you in the next one.